Well, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, we'll get going here on this nice, cozy Thursday morning in February. My name is Todd Haymore. I am Virginia's Secretary of Agriculture and Forestry.
We are so lucky to have you.
Thank you. Governor McAuliffe has given me the honor of representing two of Virginia's three largest private sector industries, agriculture and forestry, and obviously one of the reasons that we're here today, but and also thinking about it being here in Richmond, Virginia, urban Richmond, Virginia, talking about an agribusiness development project, which is even better, so I'll save that. Look. Let me, before I do my prescribed duties here this morning, let me recognize a few folks here who are with us today. Let me recognize first and foremost my colleague, Secretary of the Commonwealth, LeVar Stoney. LeVar's got a great passion for agriculture, particularly the craft beverage sector of agriculture. Shocking that he's here this morning. So anyway, LeVar, thank you. Thanks always for your support too. Also want to recognize a good new friend and a supporter of agriculture, Senator Glenn Sturtevant, represents this area. Glenn and I have had the opportunity to talk a great deal over the last, year now about the important role that agriculture and agribusiness play in our economy. So Glenn, thanks for being here and your support as well. And also my good friend, Jen McClellan, Delegate Jen McClellan, who represents this area as well. Jen, thanks for being here. Jen and I have had a lot of conversations about agriculture. One of the most unique ones was when she talked about supporting the Governor's Agricultural and Forestry Industries Development Fund, the APHID, several years ago in the General Assembly. She said she remembered voting for it, but she never thought that she would actually see agribusiness development going on in her district. So Jen, glad to come through for you on that. All this private sector coming through for you as well. Also, our great mayor, and I know that Mayor Jones is going to be recognizing some of his team. Mayor, thank you for everything that you're doing to facilitate more economic activity here as well. And then last but certainly not least, let me recognize my team from the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and the Secretariat. I got Megan Hobbs over here from the Secretariat, Cass Rasnick from the Secretariat, Sam Tao from the department, working on ag development projects, Stephanie Agee and Stephen Burson is here. Chantal Taylor's here. Also, I'm not sure what the Secretariat and the VDACs are doing right now if they're all here. Thank you all for everything that you do. Exactly. It is a great day, obviously, to be here again talking about agribusiness and development in the Commonwealth, and particularly here in Richmond. We're here, obviously, at Blue Bee. One of the new location of Blue Bee is the Expand. Courtney, I had the honor of being with you and the mayor about 3 years ago over in Manchester to do a ribbon cutting, and a room maybe a little bit smaller than where we are now. So great accomplishment, and look forward to hearing more about it from the mayor, the governor, and you. But also recognizing the incredible growth that the cider industry is providing, not only in Virginia but around the country. We have seen over 200% growth in cider sales in the Commonwealth of Virginia from 2014 to 2015, and all indications show that growth is going to continue going up because of companies like Blue Bee and others all around the state. And on top of that, we've seen about 40% growth in national sales over the last few years as well. So the fastest growing alcohol beverage sector in the country, and we are thriving here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I'll lead a round of applause for that. We're also thriving in job growth, and I'm going to transition now to the reason that we're all here and hearing from the folks now that are going to be talking about the really great news. Virginia, as we look to create a new Virginia economy, we are really doing well. And I've had the pleasure of working with our next speaker, the gentleman, for 2 years, and have seen firsthand the push, the enthusiasm, and the all-out effort that he puts in to making Virginia the best state in America for a lot of different reasons, but particularly for job growth and economic development. I'm going to make sure I get these exactly right now. Over the last 25 months, we've witnessed almost 620 new economic development projects that have helped create over 96,000 jobs all across this Commonwealth. Mayor. We've also seen a record $10 billion in investment, capital investment in the Commonwealth over the last 25 months, almost double any gubernatorial time period in the history of the Commonwealth, and it's an all-time record for that 25-month period. So outstanding work there. Virginia also has the lowest unemployment rate in the Southeast. We have the most jobs ever in the history of the Commonwealth. And last but certainly not least, 18 straight months of job growth all across this great Commonwealth. And leading the charge on that is our fearless leader. So everyone, please welcome His Excellency, the Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do my best. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Let's hear it for the greatest Secretary of Ag in the history of America. I mean, we are so lucky to have Todd. And the only thing I just announced last week also, initial unemployment claims, folks, I just announced for the Commonwealth, a 41-year low. So we are cranking, the economy's rolling, and it's all because of Todd. I'd be nothing, to be honest with you. It weren't for agriculture, but you know, we do spend a lot of time on ag, $3.35 billion, our last reporting period. I want us to be the East Coast capital of ag exports. It's something I committed to when I ran for governor and I announced at my State of the Commonwealth. I'm happy to announce we have just moved into second place. We used to be 3. We have just moved ahead of North Carolina, and we now have Georgia in our sights. $400 or $500 million. We can do this, can't we, Mr. Secretary? But listen, trade's the whole deal, and that's why we spend so much time on it. I mean, just today, if you look at my schedule, I will be meeting with the Ambassador of Ireland. I will be meeting with the Ambassador of Israel. I will be meeting with the Ambassador of Great Britain, and I'll be meeting with the Minister of Foreign Trade for Cuba. This is all today. Why? Because, as we know, 95% of the world's customers live outside the United States of America. We have to go where the customers are in order to increase our economic activity. And I want to thank Courtney for Blue Bee. Anytime, listen, it's not easy being governor. I mean, the idea that I got to drink at 9 o'clock in the morning, this is not easy. When you think the expansive growth of our craft brewery industry, our wineries, and now our cideries and distilleries, it is nearly 500 entities across the Commonwealth of Virginia. It has exploded economic activity, job creation, and you think about what it's doing for our ag products. It's so important. As you know, I am the first governor to visit all of our community colleges. Will be the first governor to visit all of our great state parks, and I promise you, I will be the first governor to go to all 500 craft breweries, wineries, and distilleries in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And let me be clear, if there's any man who can do it, I am your man to do this. But I'm excited to be here. The greatest, since I'm standing here, let me be clear, the greatest city in the greatest state in the greatest nation on earth here in the city of Richmond, Virginia. And I thank everybody here in Richmond. You can feel the excitement. You can feel what's going on here. It's such a great millennial city. I do want to thank the city council the other day. Now we're going to have the bus rapid transit. We're going to be able to move millennials in and out, and we're going to take Richmond to the next level. And I want to thank all the leadership here in the city, the mayor and everybody else, and who've worked so hard to do it. I do want to specifically thank Courtney. As you know, with what we're announcing, this was an old stable. What a fantastic place now for they have this new Blue Bee Cidery. And she's also committed, I should mention, for everybody who cares about agriculture, she is committed to buy 872,000 pounds of Virginia ag products over the next 3 years, alone $250,000 worth of apples and berries, all from Virginia. So I want to thank you for that. And if you read her resume, she was in upstate New York up at Cornell, and she went to cider school, which if I had known they'd had like cider school or craft beer school, I might not be governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia today, but who knows. But congratulations, and 100% woman-owned business. So I want to thank you for that. So this is a great day for us, and this is another one of our APHID grants. So far, under my tenure as governor, we have handed out about 24 aphid grants. These are so important to turbocharge the agriculture business. That we've invested $2 million, but that has been turbocharged into about $200 million worth and the creation of about 700 jobs. So these aphid grants, I want to thank the legislature, Senator Sturdivant, who's here with us, and the other members of the General Assembly. Sometimes politics gets in the way of good governance. I can tell you, as aphid grants and economic development, this is not a partisan issue, not Democrat. This is what's good for Virginia. So this is a great day for the Commonwealth of Virginia. And what I'd like to do now is I first have a check presentation. If the mayor could come up. On behalf of our aphid, I would like to give the mayor a check for $50,000. Our contribution to the state to show how important. Come on, Todd, you get in the picture. I know you like this. Yeah. So here's $50,000 from the state to help the great city of Richmond. Hey. Now, Courtney, come on up here. I got one more I got a gift for you. So I want you to know this flag flew over our beautiful Capitol. Now, I got up early this morning. Well, that's not exactly true. But I did get up early, but I didn't do the flag over the Capitol. But as you all know, Courtney, our beautiful Capitol, designed by Thomas Jefferson in 1785, completed in 1788. Now, you can go to Pennsylvania, New York, and Florida. They don't have what we have. They don't have their capitals designed by Thomas Jefferson. It is history only here in the city of Richmond in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. So when you're done with this beautiful renovation, when it's completed, and she's going to invest about $1,143,000 into this project when it is done, I would ask on behalf of all the citizens of the Commonwealth that you fly this flag over your new completed facility. On behalf of every citizen of the Commonwealth of Virginia, thank you for your commitment to Virginia. Thank you for your commitment to the city of Richmond. So, thank you. There you go. All right, big smile. Okay, great. Right. And now the mayor of the great city of Richmond, Virginia, Mayor Dwight Jones.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Governor. And this is a wonderful day in our city to be here for this wonderful announcement of this expansion. And I just want to take a moment to express my thanks to the Governor for being such a dynamic and laser-focused, job-focused governor. You know, it's important for those of us in local government to have collaboration with the state. And in my many years in local government, I've never seen the level of collaboration that we have with this administration. So, Governor, thank you so much for all that you've done. And this event today is being replicated many, many times over. We've done this so many times now. We've become like a well-oiled machine getting these announcements made, from Stone to the Capitol Trail to BRT to Relay Food, just so many things that we've been able to do together. And I want you to know this is the way it's supposed to work. The government is supposed to work in collaboration. The state and the city should be working together, and we've seen that under this governor, so I'm really appreciative to you. And today we're here for Blue Bee Cider, and our hats are off to Courtney and your team for remaining in Richmond, but not only for remaining in Richmond, but for expanding in Richmond and bringing jobs to Richmond and contributing to the economy of Richmond. We are really happy about what you are doing, and we're grateful to be here today. And what a great spot. Scott's Addition is one of the hottest neighborhoods in the city of Richmond, and for Blue Bee to be here is really great. In the last 5 years, 48 new developments have been announced here in Scott's Addition, bringing about $118 million in investment. So this is really the place to be, and BRT is going to really transform this area with transportation, as the governor said, for millennials. And so this is a great spot, a great business, and we look forward to everything that's going to happen with this great facility. I also want to thank Blue Bee for accepting the offer or allowing us to collaborate with them. We accepted their offer to purchase this old stable, to redevelop it, and their proposal to convert it into a cidery. And it has been something that only a visionary could see. When I talked to Courtney, I said, you saw something great when you looked at this place. And she said, absolutely, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about what they are going to be doing. But we've partnered with them to match the state's grant, and we have allowed them to know that we're excited not only to welcome them to this area, but also to support them in a monetary way. They're going to be investing $1.1 million in this facility, and we too are going to stand with them. So let me thank my economic development team for the great work they've done. If they're here, Lee Downing, Jane Farrar, and Justine Roberts, thank you so much for all that you've done. And we look forward to many, many more announcements like this, and we congratulate Blue Bee, and we know that it's going to be a great, great success. Thank you so much. Jennifer McClellan, let's get started.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Secretary Haymore stole half of my speech, but that's okay. It is really exciting. You know, sometimes when we're down in session, you can't really, you don't always stop to take a look at the concrete result of some of the bills that you pass, and that's why it's so exciting to be here today to see this concrete example of how, you know, votes that we make really do have a difference for our business owners, for our constituents, for the city, and to see another great business coming in to help with the revitalization of Scott's Addition, to see that it's not only a Richmond-owned business, but it's a Richmond resident and a woman-owned business doing it. It's just thrilling to see that what we do really matters, and that we have to have the vision to see agribusiness. It's no accident that it's one of our top industries. If you think back how Virginia got started, it's always been at the heart of our economy. It's going to continue to be at the heart of our economy, and everybody benefits. And so it's a thrill to be here. Congratulations, Courtney, and I'm looking forward to taking a sip. Let me also put in a plug for one of our other very important industries that we've had in the city. You know, this facility, when it's finished, would make a great movie set, just saying.
Thank you all for coming today. Governor McAuliffe, it's been a pleasure to meet you today. Mayor Jones, great to meet you again. Senator, it's great to see you today, and Delegate McClellan. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for what has been 2 years now. So the first time that I toured this property, I knew back in 2014 that I was going to need a new facility. We're just growing gangbusters. There was cider everywhere. We couldn't fit in our little warehouse. We even rented the warehouse upstairs, and it wasn't enough. And so I started looking for a new place to move. There were kittens born the day that we toured this facility, yes. So Kyle actually has some of those kittens. And Albemarle Cider Works got one of the kittens that we found. And then a handful of others still patrol the property, which is why it's so rodent-free. Good work. Good work. But the reason why we're here today is to talk about job growth and job creation. And one of the most, I think, thrilling for me things about our business model is that we bring the country and the city together. So we're creating jobs out in the orchard. So most of our apples do come from Nelson County. We lease orchard land in Nelson and work with families who do the day-to-day management there. And I was really disappointed they had a medical emergency and couldn't join us today. They'll come tomorrow, and I'll do a tour with them separately. But working with those families and becoming closer to them, most of the fruit comes from there, but we also are going to be growing apples here. And the apples that will grow in Richmond are predominantly going to be Hughes Crab. So Hughes Crab is one of the premier American cider apples that originated in Virginia, believe it or not. And it's acclimatized to hot, humid weather. So it's going to do a great job here. And people all over the country are actually excited about this apple and the fact that Virginia cider is reviving its production. So having country in the city, and then all the new jobs that we're actually creating here. So we have the raw materials separate from the value add. We do the value added part in the city. And we've created fermentation jobs. So all of the Blue Bee team is in the back, but we have our cider maker here. We have sales team. We have seller assistants and marketing professionals. We have a whole team of people, which 2 years ago when we were at the other building, it was just me and 2 part-timers. Those 2 part-timers are here today as full-timers. And it's my hope that everyone who's here as a part-timer will become full-time and will continue to add to our team in this beautiful building. So I'm really thankful for the city's economic development department actually giving us a fair shake at the bid. This property has been highly coveted by a number of different developers who've wanted to, cut it up into smaller pieces and rent it out into smaller parts or turn it into something really big and intense. And we're actually going to use every inch of the square footage here. So if you can not all of you can see every part, but with the haylofts, we'll have offices upstairs. We're going to have some machine shops, tool shops, because we do a lot of fabrication and repairs on site. We'll have laboratory in the back corner, and then the next set of stables to this one will be the tank room. So that's where all the magic happens, where we turn the juice into cider and then bottle it. The room that we're in here will be where we shelf stabilize that product and then label it, put all those beautiful labels on. We are going to be able to buy a labeling machine, so no more hand labeling. We're so excited about that. And then warehousing. So the next 2 bays from here will be warehousing. The adorable little house and the barn attached to that, that's all going to be retail. So that's where we receive the public and we share our passion for the craft of cider making with the wider world. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we plan to do with this property. I also just want to say how much I appreciate being in a city where we have such a great supply network. So as we grow as a city, we also are working with logistics companies. Richmond Cold Storage keeps our apples cool until we're ready to press them. Then we have Richmond Express, who will bring our apples to and from. And our driver with Richmond Express, he is hands down the best apple driver. And I'm not even kidding. Like when we send him out to the orchards, they're like, how do we get Leroy to drive for us? And I was like, sorry, he's taken. You can't have Leroy. And then we have our glass supplier. So J.R. Hill in, I guess it's Rockets Landing. That's where a lot of our glass and our caps come from. So we're building an entire industry locally. It's not just about us. It's all of the people that we work with. And I'm just thrilled to be part of a wider network of craft brewers. So when I first thought of this business, I had no idea that Richmond was going to take off as a craft beer city. So it was me and Hardywood in the beginning. Now, we're never going to be as big as Hardywood, but it's just thrilling to see that little idea that we had really blow up into something special that's put our city on the map. So I so thank all of you for coming here and being part of the joy of this moment. I know it's a little bit of a diamond in the rough at the moment, but in about 6 months, we're going to come back here and we're going to cut a ribbon and we're going to have some awesome tours and some great cider. So with that in mind, folks at the front, go ahead and grab a glass.
Waiting for this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cass.
Oh, thank you.
Whoop, got it.
And everyone, so Graham in the back will have cider for each of you, but in the time-honored tradition of Virginians having cider for breakfast, here's to cider.
All right.
Cheers.
All right. All right. Congratulations.
Tough job, right?
All right.
Well, it's good. Well, congrats.
Thank you all
That's
for
great.
coming.
Very good. Well, thank you so much and congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
All right, very good.
I said, congratulations. Thank you.